Good evening, basketball fans. I am your host, Sam Gillette. Welcome to another episode of Bourbon, Beer, and Basketball, a brand new interactive show showcasing local or favorite brews and bourbons while talking college basketball. If you're watching for the first time, go ahead and tap that subscribe button and set up your notifications so you never miss when we go live. Tonight, we're going to discuss who has the deepest conference. Can the ACC make a run with anyone other than Duke? And we will be taking a deeper look at a few of the non-P4 conferences, who has the best chance to make a deep run. So let's jump right into it with our starting lineup. At 5'7" from Boise, Idaho, my friend and co-host of Bronco Nation Live, Mr. Nick Wade. Nick, how are you tonight?
Good evening. How are you doing, man?
Good. And at 5'8" from Plano, Texas, gold certified Team USA and Plano West basketball coach, Mr. Jonathan Yates.
What up, party people? That was stupid.
And at 6'2" from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, founder of the Sunbelt Syndicate, Mr. Dominic Cressetto.
What's going on?
And at 5'10" from Twin Falls, Idaho, connoisseur of all things basketball, Mr. Josh Fife.
Chapel Hill sounds a lot better than Twin Falls, I'm not going to lie.
And finally, at 5'9" from Columbia, Pennsylvania, gamer extraordinaire and founder of River Shark Gaming, Mr. Casey Wick. Fellas, how are we doing tonight?
Very good.
Awesome.
So far,
Better
it's
than
great.
I just realized with our team size, we're going to be fucking hustling a lot.
We're going to set a lot of screens.
Yeah. There's no post work going on here.
Well, if you're viewing this on TikTok, go ahead and head over to youtube.com/@Bronco Nation Updates, and you can join the show, submit your questions, comments, and have them read live on air. If not, you can just look at my ugly face on TikTok, or you can come over and look at 6 ugly faces. Make it a party. This is a interactive show, so your interaction helps. If you're watching for the first time, hit that subscribe button and let's get you part of the party. This show is featuring local brews, favorite bourbons, or favorite brews if you don't have a local brewery. And we're going to talk a bunch of basketball tonight. So, fellas, let's start with you, Nick. What are you drinking tonight?
Well, I'm your resident NA, and I brewed me up some espresso. It is a robust Colombian bean, and it's really good at 6:45 Mountain Time.
All right. And Mr. Chad Dickens said you had me at bourbon, so let's go to the bourbon drinker tonight. Dominic, what are you drinking tonight?
Yeah, well, Chad there is a bourbon. I'm not even going to say connoisseur. He's a bourbon expert. We've had him on our bourbon show on the Sunbelt Syndicate where we paired bourbons up with Sunbelt schools. So he'll know this one because I believe this is the same one I actually drank for that one. But we've got a little Woodinville here, whiskey bourbon. And, you know, it's not local to me. In fact, this was a Christmas gift. So I'm drinking it because of that. But this is the glass I've got. And I don't know how well everyone can see that, but this says Soldier Valley. This was in Omaha, Nebraska, maybe just outside Omaha, Nebraska. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it exists anymore, but it was a very cool place. So I just wanted to shout them out. The 6 on the glass there is because it was the whole place was done up. Like, I think it was veterans who ran the business. So it was all about I got your 6. So I had to support it when I was there in Omaha many moons ago now. But shout out to Soldier Valley and the stuff that they used to put out.
All right. And Chad, I'm going to extend an invite if you ever want to come on, maybe not for the whole show, but want to come on and showcase a bourbon here at the beginning. I'd be more than happy to have you on. I actually did watch your bourbon show on the Sunbelt Syndicate, so I do actually know who you are. I just didn't know the name.
Make sure you send me the bourbon.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you do that, if you do come on, you got to send everybody bourbon. That's your price of admission. I did switch YouTube, I did switch TikToks over to the Sam Talk Sports TikTok. I'm sitting here going, why does that say my personal one? So if you're on this TikTok head on over to youtube.com/@BroncoNationUpdates.com. Hit the subscribe button and join the show that way. All right. Let's see. Let's go with Yates. Mr. Yates, how are you doing tonight and what are you drinking?
Oh, everything is well. You know, we played a basketball game last night. Came away with a W.
Nice.
So we're always happy to beat up on McKinney Boyd and anybody else in our district, which puts those freshman A team in Plano West at 6-1 at the moment in the first round of district with one more game to go there. Overall record of 15-4. But we are drinking a little Redgate from Manhattan Project Brewing Company, right? That is local out of Dallas, and it's delicious. It's a little Irish red, actually.
Ooh, nice.
That sounded good too. Nice little pop there.
That sounded nice and crispy.
Tastes great too.
Nice.
If you were a female. Anyway. Mr. Josh Fife, fresh off his medical sabbatical and able to drink again. What you got tonight?
I'm still doing water because I'm on the water diet, according per doctors, as of a meeting I had just 2 days ago. So,
Well, your doctors clearly got their degree in a dumpster behind McDonald's.
listen, whatever I will trust them with the pain meds because back surgery sucks.
Well,
You should ask them why they hate you. That's what you should do.
and new to the panel tonight, Mr. Casey Wick, who missed last night for well, let's just say that it was his time of month. And Casey, what are you drinking?
I'm just drinking Miller Lite tonight, man. If it well, I ain't gonna fucking shave.
I don't know.
But it might as well be. Well, 5 a.m. comes early, man. I'm on Eastern time, so
Well, maybe you should move. It's God's way of saying move to Texas.
other than the politics, I'm good on the weather.
Yeah.
I
You don't want
could
this
do for the politics.
Yeah, we've been having lovely spring weather this December. So.
Yes.
Although the last Texan I ran into told me that avoid Austin.
Yes. Yes.
Like the plague.
Oh, man.
Right. So I was able to go and enjoy dinner tonight at Backstory Brewery in Sulphur Springs, Texas. Old Mad is the restaurant inside that brewery. Mr. Josh Nine hooked me up with a 4-pack of the first one I'm going to open up tonight is Bright Star Blonde, a light crisp blonde ale with subtle notes of bread and light lemongrass. He actually mixed it in with a lemonade. And whenever he said it, I cringed at beer and lemonade, but oh my God, was that not the best thing that ever touched my lips?
That sounds phenomenal.
It's pretty good. Oh, that sounded even better. So this one here, I believe it's Bright Star Blonde, but I think they call it the Cowboy in the brewery. So, but it's pretty good. Oh, the can. Here we go. The can. The claw. Wait, where is it? I've got to get me a green screen. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. TikTok sees it perfectly clear because they don't see a green screen. So that's what I got. And Mr. Josh Nine, he has 9 Leatherworks. 9 is an IX. If you want to look it up on Facebook, he doesn't have any recent posts on there, but he does check it. He told me tonight. But he made this really cool. I mean, it's not cardstock, but it's really cool. Laser engraved business card. So if you're into that kind of stuff, hold on. Wait, there we go. There's his contact information there. You can also find him on 9. That's IX, the Roman numeral 9. Leatherworks on Facebook. Just beware that he doesn't have a recent post on there. So, but yeah, he hooked me up tonight. It was really helpful in recommending these nice ales, and actually have a really nice bourbon. It's a 5-year on the bottle, but technically it's 6 years because the bottle was a year old, I guess. But yeah, it was a really good bourbon, and they're going to start distilling here in the near future, according to him. So if you're ever in the Sulphur Springs, Texas area, Backstory Brewery, Old Mad restaurant in it. It's a great place, good food, great people, and great beer.
Nice.
With that being said, let's jump into the first half, shall we? The SEC, Big 10, and Big 12. All conferences have the potential to have the most teams in it and the potential to make the deepest runs outside of Duke and the ACC. Let's start. Who's got the deepest conference of the two? Last year it was the SEC. They clearly dominated from start to finish and made it. Didn't they have like the most teams in the tournament like in a long time? Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yes. 14 teams got in. And
Yes.
I think only 2 of them lost early. The rest of them, yeah.
So they were super deep last year. The Big 10 and Big 12 have a case this year, though. What do you guys think? Who's got the deepest conference? And I'll take whoever wants to jump in first.
Let's have our big man tip off.
All right. That was Dominic, right? Yeah.
Whoever
Dominic.
the tallest
Big
one
man?
is, that's what he means.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what's so funny is I worked at a place once, just a quick story, in a restaurant, and I had a lot of these older people that had come in because it was a bagel place, and they would always say, "You're so tall, you probably play basketball." And I'm like, I don't think you understand how tall the guys that play basketball are. I honestly though, like, thinking back, I'm like, Kobe Bryant looked kind of small right on the court. That dude was huge when he was with his legal team. When he went through that aspect, you saw just how big of a man that is. So there you go. 6'2" ain't big in basketball terms, as we all know. So if you aren't familiar with that, as some of the viewers may not be, I guess, but yeah, I feel tiny next to a basketball roster or a football roster because I've stood beside some of those guys, and it doesn't get much better. So to the point at hand, I'm going to go with the Big 12 conference. I just think you've got right now currently number 1 and 2 with Arizona and Iowa State. I just think the top heaviness of them, but the conference overall has very few. Let me see. I actually have it right in front of me. Nobody is under 500 at all, and almost all of them are trending to be or right about to be double-digit win teams already. So I'm going to go with the Big 12.
Yeah, and in Iowa State, their perfect season crashed last night. Flew a little bit too close to the sun and got their wings clipped a bit. Hopefully they can bounce back and not let it affect their entire season. You got Arizona still 16-0 moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Could Arizona be the last undefeated team with the basketball they're playing, Yates?
That's a possibility, but I'm going to take the SEC instead. Yep. I know Vanderbilt's still undefeated. The SEC currently has 0 teams under or even with 500. Every team is over 500 right now. The loser of the bunch, I can't really say too much about them, is the Ole Miss Rebels. They kind of took it to my hogs the other day.
Yeah, wasn't that 30-point loss?
Hey, you know what? We forgot to bring our shoes, and the guys were wearing Crocs. Yeah. One guy forgot his jersey. He was wearing the other team's practice. It was crazy. But anyway, give me the SEC. I think right now with 6 teams, 25. Of course, number 7 dogs. You've got 6 of their teams ranked the top 25, and you could easily make a case for A&M and Missouri to even nab a low spot at some point throughout the season. They continue with what they're doing right now. But that's my take because I'm a homer.
So I did miss this. Nick, Clutch Blocks. I'm not 100% sure this is a real person, but maybe Dominic can attest to that. Says, would you like a song? I don't know what song you would like, but would you like a song?
I think he means to create him a song.
And then Chad said he'd be happy to join. Just say when. Thank you, kind sir. Twist my pinky, and I'll be happy to send out tasters. Consider this a Twinkie list. We'll have Dominic. and get that set up.
There we go.
All right. So Hudson Cruz hates us and wants us to ban him. That's not going to happen. My haters make us famous.
Wait, did you have a Detroit Lions player on there? Is that who that was? Yeah.
Yeah, so clearly somebody that's 14.
T Brown Lee 978 says hi. Hi, T Brown. Welcome to the show. Mr. Goku Super X. I think that's a
Dragon Ball Z, man.
Goku, let's go.
Yeah, a little anime action with your Broncos. So
yeah, go Broncos. All right. Good deal. Good to have a bunch of different people in tonight. Remember, if you're on watching on TikTok, head on over to youtube.com/@Bronco Nation Updates and join the show if you want to post your comments and have us read them on air. Otherwise, stay over there and look at my ugly mug. I don't care. All right. Unfortunately, tonight, I do not have any bourbon, and Pop is not going to jump in on me tonight. So if anybody's out there waiting for Pop to jump in, that's not going to happen. Nick, who do you think has the deepest conference this year?
Yeah, I'm. I do think that Arizona is going to be one of those teams that are going to be probably in the Final Four coming out of the Big 12. But right now, and I'm a big fan of Kelvin Sampson in Houston, which is Big 12. But right now, I think that the Big 10 is probably to me is the best conference out there right now. You got Michigan and Nebraska and even Purdue, that they're all doing very well. And I did observe Nebraska's game this weekend, and they were down like 15 points, and they came roaring back, and I believe they're still undefeated. 16, yeah. So very impressed by that conference right now.
Yeah, it was Hank 16 points with 11 minutes to play, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sue me if I'm wrong, but don't sue me. You wouldn't get anything. Casey, who's got the deepest conference in your opinion out here?
I'm probably gonna go with the SEC. Reasons already pointed out about like nobody under 500, and just when you're playing that level of competition, to stay above 500 just kind of shows how deep the rosters are.
So the two SEC pickers, how many teams are getting in this year? Did their kind of, you had two of them lose early, but they didn't really make deep runs in the tournament. Does that hurt the SEC this year for getting more people in like they did last year?
I think with the balance kind of across everything just at the moment, I just don't see a spot where you can justify putting 14 of the SEC teams in. Now, as the season goes along, maybe something changes there, but it's hard for me to believe since now we're in conference play. I think you're probably looking at 10, 9 maybe.
Yeah, somewhere 8 to 10.
So
who's the first one out in the SEC, Casey?
As of right now, trying to think how to say that. Like probably somewhere like Mississippi State, Auburn. But I'm gonna say probably like most likely 8 teams are in, and Tennessee don't get their shit together. They're out. Yeah. Everybody else below them.
Is Missouri as good as what their record suggests, or are they're going to be proved to be a fraud as the conference goes on?
I don't see them being a top team. Yeah, I think they're definitely going to drop down. I just think they're scheduled. I mean, they did a great job of scheduling who they needed to look really good at this point. But I think as the season continues on, I don't see them being over 500 in the SEC.
That Illinois loss was brutal.
Terrible.
Is LSU doomed to be the cellar dwellers in the SEC for the foreseeable future?
I hope so.
I mean, It's either going to be them, and I'm with you. I hope so, or it's going to be Oklahoma, which is kind of wild to say because they've been pretty good at recent history.
Yeah.
Right now, we're just struggling.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy how the Kentucky struggles, despite their lineage.
Yeah.
Yeah, lineage, but now with Mark Pope over there, and I think he's a tremendous coach, but I don't think he had the pedigree or background to really continue to pull the guys like Coach Cal was when he was there.
Cal's on a different level when it comes to recruiting and developing.
100%. But I just think namesake when you think Calipari, or you think when Tubby was there, and those guys, Rick Pitino, you're looking high level names, and then we go come see Mark Pope.
Yeah, Kentucky right now. So I've started my Sam Talk Sports rank. Right now, Kentucky ranks 60 in that. And they're 35 in the net, but they got a 52 strength of record, 45 strength of schedule, and that's the record they have with that. So, and my rankings they take into effect a lot more of the losses. Losses have a bigger impact on you than the wins do, just because champions win games. So, realistically, they're probably in the tournament as just above the first four, unless they don't change things. If they continue to trend in the direction they're going, then they'll be like Indiana last year and just hoping for that spot. So, but yeah. Moving on to the Big 12. Let's see. We got Arizona, who is my number one team overall. Number 2 in the net, 2 in the Ken Palm, number 1 strength of record, but their strength of schedule lacks at 42. 2 in the BPI and 5 in the KPI. So let's talk some Arizona. Are they poised to make a deep run this year? And if not, who's going to be the first team to knock them off?
Anybody want to tap? I guess I can.
I was going to say, you mean
I was waiting
like
regular
season knock people off, or do you mean like tournament play?
During the season, who's is Arizona going to make a? I guess I worded that wrong. Are they going to finish the season undefeated, or is somebody going to knock them?
I think Houston will probably knock them off. I think Houston might if they play.
That's going to be an epic matchup.
They have a 4-game stretch coming up: Kansas, Texas Tech, BYU, Houston, all in a row.
I actually think they're going to lose to Kansas because I think they're going to start looking ahead to that stretch of Texas Tech, BYU, and Houston. I think Kansas will pull it off.
Yeah, when you look at the back half of that schedule, I mean, when you go Kansas, Tech, BYU, Houston, Baylor, back to Kansas, then Iowa State, and then you play Colorado to end it. I mean, that's a rough stretch right there. I don't see them being undefeated.
Yeah. And you can't discount UCF either. They're playing some good basketball right now.
Yeah, and that's quite the trip. I mean, we talk about it a lot in football, but I mean, it's got to affect basketball as well. When you get on a plane, you've got to take a ride across country, essentially from Arizona to Florida. So I don't know if those get any easier as you go deeper into the season.
At least they don't have to go to West Virginia.
What are you trying to say, Sam?
Nobody wants to go to West Virginia.
It's about the same distance, right? Arizona to West Virginia, Arizona to Florida.
I have a feeling there might be a government convoy waiting at the airport if any plane from Arizona flies into West Virginia.
Oh, man. Who's going to be the last undefeated team?
Ooh, good question.
That is a good question.
That's why everyone looks up the undefeated team.
We're living in this alternate universe where Indiana's good at football and Nebraska's good at basketball. Let's call it Nebraska.
That is kind of crazy how all that happens, right?
Yeah.
Money talks.
Yep.
Any chance Vandy runs the table?
Good. I don't see it.
They got Florida and Arkansas back-to-back coming up, too.
Yeah.
That's 2 losses right there. At least 1.5.
All right, Yates. Can you put your homerism aside and realistically break down that Arkansas Vandy game? Arkansas Vandy.
Arkansas and Vandy. I think that's going to come down to what happens on the inside, you know, with the big guys in that matchup. Obviously, the guards. You know, Acuff's going to get his. You know, every bad game he still has his. Tyler Tanner over at Vanderbilt, he's going to score his. So I think the guards are pretty evenly matched. But if you look at Jalen Washington over in Vandy, and then just the kind of duo to trio of bigs over in Arkansas, it's like, who's going to win that matchup? I think if you get, you know, Trevin Brazil to give you the normal 20 and 10 he's going to give you, and then maybe we get Nick Pringle, if he gives you a 12 and 8 night, I think you're looking at a pretty good chance of Arkansas winning. But if that doesn't happen, I think Vanderbilt takes it. They're scoring it at a high rate. Like 93 points a game is pretty well scoring.
So let me throw this out. You guys are talking about all these the undefeateds that you think is going to win or remain undefeated. Who's going to be the last undefeated? But no one's mentioned that other M school, the Miami Redhawks, with their schedule. I could see them being undefeated at the end of the regular season. I think their toughest matchup is going to be Buffalo. They got them Saturday.
Twice.
Yeah,
Twice.
Oh, they already beat Akron.
They beat Akron and they don't play them again. Yeah.
Ooh,
so I was going
to miss that one.
Yeah, I was going to say that
73.
they may be the best positioned school to remain undefeated with the remaining schedule.
Yeah, and they got all the weapons to run their tournament too, and they could be undefeated heading into NCAA play.
Yeah,
and
but Buffalo twice.
Yeah,
Buffalo's good.
They are. But if they can do it, they stay undefeated. How deep does that run look realistic for them?
Don't forget about Akron. They're
they already beat Akron, so if they play them
beat
again,
Akron and they don't play anymore.
Oh, they don't have two games?
No,
I thought they were playing them again. Turns out they are not.
Okay. Well,
it looks like they got Buffalo twice.
Yep, they got Buffalo twice, UMass.
Even if they split with Buffalo,
Ohio,
they're going to be top 30, top 45 at least come tournament time.
Yeah.
How deep does that tournament run look?
Oh, it's so hard to say because it really, I mean, basketball more than a lot of other sports, I think, is going to be really dependent on your matchup, right? Like, what does the MAC typically see? What are they typically prepared for? And then what does some SEC, some Big 10, some Big 12, some ACC school present to them, right? Like, if they get matched up, I mean, I would doubt if they're highly thought of and ranked that they'd match up with a team like Purdue, but, you know, that probably won't go well for them.
Yeah. And basketball more so than football. Any given day, anybody can beat anybody. Just because you don't know finals or something. Just gets inside the headspace of a college athlete, and he just has an off night. So more so than anything, basketball, you could see Hawaii Pacific beat a Boise State and any given day. Sorry, guys, had to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Miami, Ohio, if they get matched up with somebody that has a dominant postman, they're going to be done for.
Yeah,
like guards, I think they'd be fine, but you don't. Yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Right. So we do have a question from Pop, who's not going to pop in tonight, but he did send me a text, and he has one question for Josh, and it's only question of the night. My only question is, can Josh do a Barney Fife impression?
You know, I may be able to do Lawrence Welk better than I could do Barney Fife. Grandma had those VHS tapes, and she had the little turn dial TV that we would plug in. And listen, Alex Trebek was her secret crush her whole life. So right after Alex Trebek was Lawrence Welk on her VHS tape. So sorry, I can't pull off the Barney Fife gig.
Well, there you go, Pop. And if you're looking at TikTok, go ahead and head on over to YouTube with the search Bronco Nation updates. We're over there if you want to be part of the show. Leave your comments over there. Guys, I'm about to crack into number 2. This one here is in honor of Jonathan Yates. I'm going to go with the Nacho Lagre, Mexican lager, brewed with Vienna and maize, and hopped with East Kent Golding and Centennial hops. So, again, I'm drinking beers tonight from Backstory Brewery in Sulphur Springs, Texas. If you're ever in Sulphur Springs, it gets better and better. Get on the look.
Cheers.
Great. So, cheers.
Sam, are we at the point where we're talking how many teams get in from each of these? I mean, can we jump into this a little?
Yes, go for it.
I'm a numbers nerd, and Ken Palm is like my thing. But just looking at some of the SEC stuff, I knew last year they got 14 out of their 16.
Yep.
They had Texas went 6-12 in conference, Arkansas 8-10, Oklahoma 6-12. And looking at their numbers this year, they are average net, average Ken Palm. They're the best conference. And SEC, their 12th, 13th, and 14th team are all plus 70 in net. I don't think they're going to get 14 if they're sitting in the 70s and 80s. There's no way. However, looking back at last year with a 6-12 Texas getting in, 19-15 overall. By the way, committee reps this year for the tournament committee switched it up. We don't have good old North Carolina AD running the show. But does anybody know which conference has 2 reps and nobody else has more than 1?
I'm going to guess the SEC.
SEC.
Yep.
Just needs more. It
What
just
do you know?
More, except for bowl season.
Although,
Your competition matters.
Dom, your boy out of the Sun Belt is the chair for the committee this year, so that's kind of encouraging to not have a power conference running the thing. So
Yeah, and the Sun Belt is terrible.
I would say watch
out for
for
the
him to not stay commissioner of the Sun Belt for long with the way he treats it, because we know how the American did when football was an aspect where he was really loud and vocal about getting his teams in. Keith Gill is the opposite of that with the Sun Belt. He's very diplomatic, and he seems to be that way in order to have these prominent roles in postseason play, especially for basketball, where he's the top of the food chain at that point. But to me, that signifies and signals that he has something bigger and broader on his mind in the future. So that's a name to keep in mind for a bigger conference down the road, possibly.
okay.
Maybe for commissioner of the NCAA NIL program.
There you go. Nobody wants
Everyone's
that job.
saving to do it.
So if they're talking Sun Belt, will he pull a Bubba and quote leave the room when it's time to talk about his team?
It's a good question. I don't know. I know that let's use James Madison, for example, in the football realm, right? Like a lot of our fans were disappointed that he wasn't more vibrant in the discussion and vocal and outgoing and having everybody hear from him. But apparently he was doing that type of stuff in the background at that higher level. So again, I just think the way he goes about it is kind of the right way to fit in with that crew, right? He's not going to be the oddball. He's not going to be the one that nobody wants to deal with because he's just loud and all he wants is his team's in every time. He's very diplomatic in that sense, and I think that's going to do him favors in the long term for his career.
Love it.
Does somebody have a TV on?
No, I got an ESPN update, and I was trying to figure out if it was the boys' game or the girls' game because these days you can never really tell.
I'm sitting here going, I hear that, right?
Nope, that's just the voices in your head.
I knew it. I
It's
knew it.
nacho beer.
it's great too. Here's TikTok. There's the can. I don't think I showed the can on.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh yeah, that's an awesome one.
Why are you moving, camera? There we go.
It also is drinking.
I kept trying to follow it up, and it kept moving up and up and up.
Sam's had 2 drinks. The camera's had 2 drinks.
That's like 14 in camera beers.
This nacho lager.
It's gonna start getting fuzzy. I'm gonna see 2 Sams.
Yeah, it's gonna look like an android.
Like I said last week, the more I drink, the more of you there become. But no, it's really smooth. El Fantastico is what it says on the can, and it definitely is fantastic. So they don't ship nationally yet. I kind of halfway tried to talk them into doing it, but if you are in Northeast Texas, they used to do things with HEB Yates, but they kind of pulled it in. If you're ever in Sulphur Springs, Texas, Backstory Brewery, great beer, great food. Give them a look up. And then if Josh 9 is there we go. Give him a look up too. I asked him. There aren't 8 other Joshes, so it's just him.
All right. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit of the ACC. I know we're kind of singling them out. I think they've got the least teams that are going to get into the Power 4 conferences. And I really don't think anyone can make a deep run other than Duke. Can anyone beat out Duke and surprise?
I think historically, this team is always just everybody just kind of sweeps them under the rug. And it's not recency bias because of their football team, but the Miami Hurricanes always tend to sneak up on somebody in a year when no one is talking about them at all. I think you got to be careful for them.
Yeah, they were the bottom of the ACC last year too. Really a turnaround program story there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys are watching or not, but Georgia and Ole Miss are in overtime.
Yeah, it's a close one.
What about Virginia? They're kind of sitting around there. They're at 15-2. You know, they're about 14 in Ken Palm overall, I guess. But you know, maybe they perhaps they give them a run.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They got that lockdown defense, right?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I was going to say I'll stick with again, I'm a hater, but I'll still stick with the Tar Heels being the thorn or the Tar Heel in the Blue Devils side here and slowing them down. I mean, you got a team who's, they've had 2 not great losses, of course, but it's still early in the season. I think this is a team that isn't going to go away. And again, that rivalry just seems to, have some weird things happen a couple times, and they see each other twice, I believe, at the very end of the season, like typically they do. And if one goes one way at one point, I think you can see some revenge coming back, and maybe it'd be interesting to see if they get to a point where they match up in the ACC tournament again as well.
This is a weird ACC. Last year they had 5 top 50 Ken Palms. Right now they're at 8 top 50s, and the 8th one is North Carolina, who is also number 14 in the AP poll. Super weird. But I'm with you, Dom. It's always the UNC Duke thing. Like, it doesn't matter if they're 100th in the Ken Palm. They're going to have a game no matter what.
Yeah.
The end of Duke's schedule is pretty challenging, too, if you look at it. Like, they got Clemson, they got Michigan, they got Virginia, and they finished with UNC.
Yeah. And Virginia doesn't have that easy of a schedule either. They just beat Louisiana. They go to SMU, home against North Carolina, and then they get a couple of off weeks against Notre Dame and Boston College. Wah, wah. What?
Yeah.
Nothing, Casey?
Look, you could say
dude.
Way off.
Dude,
off.
So I just want to say, as an Notre Dame fan, they should never hired Shrewsbury, and they should fire Shrewsbury, even though it's going to cost them a ton of money. The dude can't coach basketball. It was a fluke. He did well at Penn State.
The Shrewsbury tastes like Shrewsberries.
So I mean, outside of that, then there,
Tastes like Shrewsberries.
then you got like you said, Miami and Duke to end the season. Excuse me, or towards the end of the season. So I mean, I could see Louisiana having a good record with a few losses being those higher ranked teams, but
Louisville?
yeah. What did I say?
You said Louisiana.
Louisiana. And I'm like, are we talking LSU or are we talking them Raging Cajuns?
No, I'm talking about
another Nacho Libre. Man, if this was made with corn, a corn beer. That does says maize though, so it's kind
Maize.
of
corn.
yeah.
Maize is corn.
So
It's
Go ahead.
amazing.
say it, Yates. You know you want to.
Nope.
Did you say nope? Get that corn out of my face. Anyway, yeah.
Great movie.
Louisville. Yeah. So that they could have a good schedule or a good record without being a good team, right? Obviously, they're good. I'm just saying, without having a good enough team to make that deep run.
Sure.
Right.
Looking at some stats, Duke is just loaded everywhere, except they're 198th in the nation in free throw shooting. And if you look at their one loss, somebody fact check this, they missed 12 free throws that game.
But do you
Is
really
Shaq's kid on their team?
Got him though.
Yeah, was Boozer a good free throw shooter?
Close.
He was so.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, that is an actual fact there. The game that Duke lost 82-81 against Texas Tech. They were 17 of 29 from the free throw line.
Free throws lost him that.
Didn't they have a hack of Boozer at one point in time? I thought they did.
Yeah, he was like a 63% shooter or something like that. He was so
not good.
Like some nights he'd be good, and other nights you'd just be like, well, this is going to be a long night for him.
Well, he almost got the net.
Gonna see how Duke fares against their West Coast trip. They got Cal and Stanford coming up. So they get jet lagged on that. They could lose one of those.
What I like about Virginia though, sticking it here in the ACC is they did beat Louisville, who's number 20, at their place. So for me, something that I weigh is like championship teams. They don't, they take care of business at home. So that's kind of one thing that I kind of look for. So that's why I probably place that would give me, Virginia the leg up on Louisville.
Yeah. Who's the fraud? Out of all the conferences, the P4 conferences, who's the fraud? Who has an inflated record that people think are good but are going to get exposed? Yes, I know. Asking the deep ones tonight. So Nacho Lago will do to you.
If we're talking those guys, I'm going to say the Big Ten.
Which team in specific?
Oh, you wanted a particular team. I thought you meant like conference itself.
A team. I can get on board with the Big Ten being a fraud conference this year, especially if they're getting the SEC football treatment just because of their heritage in basketball.
I mean, if we're looking towards the top 6 of their conference, I don't think Wisconsin, and I'm always so iffy on Illinois.
I was just thinking that too.
Like sometimes I'm like, oh, they're really good, and then I'm like, they might not be that good.
Wisconsin's kind of like that too. I mean, they pulled off a win over Michigan, and then they're kind of average any other game.
Then games where it's like, can you teach me to basketball?
Right.
If you take the top 5 in each conference and average their net out, Big Ten's actually sitting at the top.
Really?
SEC's third behind the Big 12. But I'm with you. I always think the Big Ten's a fraud, and I don't know. I'm not a Big Ten homer, but they went 8-0 in the first round last year, which
Yeah.
I still can't believe that to this day. But
How many teams do you think is getting in the Big Ten, Josh?
because they're the Big Ten, I'm going to say 8, although I'd like to see 5 or 6, but they're the Big Ten. They're
They going to go
basketball.
8-0 again this year?
I think so. I think they'll get 8. I think it also depends on it. We all know this. Like you get some 7 seed that runs some little conference, and they got to let their 30th ranked team in, and
Yeah.
some little conference gets 2 wins, so that bumps somebody. But Big Ten, SEC, they're going to get their 8 to 12 no matter what.
Yeah.
ACC's the fraud one, and I hate to say that as a Carolina guy, but
What team in the ACC is going to be proved to be the biggest fraud?
I'm not sold on Clemson.
I can go there.
Yep. I've watched 2 of their games, so I'm not deep diving Clemson, but I just didn't see it being like, wow, they're 15-3. How was that? Duke, I think, will take care of it. I like Yates' Miami idea. Like they always find a way somehow. It's like every 2 or 3 years, Miami pops up and sneaks in there some way.
Yeah.
I think Ole Miss just won.
97.
Yeah,
We know that they won like 2 weeks ago, but then they lost. So.
No, but they just beat Georgia.
Yeah, they did that like 2 weeks ago.
They
Is that
did-
Georgia? Is that why they're 2 losses?
No, I'm talking football.
Hey, I've got another one.
I'm over that one.
Look, to quote me on Facebook, football is stupid.
I've quoted you many a times on Facebook, and I've given you quotes.
I'll throw out another a fraud. So we talked about Illinois possibly being a fraud. I'm going to throw out a different team from a different conference altogether with the Big 12 and Texas Tech, who's already lost to Illinois. Now, they do have a win over Duke, so you can't discredit that, but they've had a couple other, ranked teams that they just haven't gotten over the hump with. They are 1-4 against the top 25 right now. So I don't know if you can trust the Red Raiders.
They lost by 30 to Purdue early this season, so that was like, yikes. Yep.
Yeah.
So you're going to say they're going to get folded like their football team?
Yep.
Early season losses don't really equate to late season success either.
True.
Because early season, you're trying to figure out what chemistry is. So you got to wonder if that game was played today, would that result be the same? They may still lose, but would it be 30 points?
So what you're saying is Boise State would destroy Hawaii Pacific now if it was now.
I don't know about that. Man.
Before,
Nick, back me up, please.
if they played between San Diego State and Hawaii Pacific, I would. Or San Diego State and St. Mary's, I would back you up on that. Anytime after San Diego State, I'm a Boise State fan, but they have – so I firmly believe that something was said in that locker room after the San Diego State game that it has really killed all chemistry the team had. Somebody said something about Andrews missing the pull-up jumper to win it in regular time. Somebody said something about Meadows RJ Keene's interception at second overtime. Somebody said something somewhere, and I really think that's the reason this team's falling apart. So, and all you can do is try and coach around it, try and find 5 players that want to play with each other. And that's unfortunately Rice has to figure out how to do that mid-season where it counts. So hopefully they can pull it together. I thought they might last night. I fell asleep at halftime, so I didn't get to watch the whole game, but another overtime loss. I don't know. I don't know what that does to the psyche of a team, especially with as bad as UNLV is playing right now. But we're not here to talk about the Mountain West Conference right now. However, I guess that kind of does.
Oh, my bad. I thought we were talking Power 4. That's why Mountain West.
It kind of does segue though. Is there any other conference that can claim power status? You've got the Big East, you've got the Mountain West. Obviously, they're kind of in a halfway down year, or maybe even the future Pac-12. I know it's not till next year, but you got Gonzaga coming over. You've got basically the top tier basketball teams in the Mountain West going. Well, is there anybody else that can claim that power status?
if anybody can, it's the Big East.
Yep.
You got UConn, you got Villanova, who, I mean,
Yeah.
recently down, but, if you go by pedigree, you got Villanova,
Yeah.
St. John's, Creighton, Seton Hall.
Who are doing great this year.
I mean, that is a
Seton Hall
tough.
25, and they've been off.
Their bad team.
Yeah, can we talk the Big East maybe getting 4 or 5 in this year? Like that
For sure.
return to the glory days of the Big East. I kind of like that.
Yeah. You got to wonder, and Casey, you can chime in on this one, with the missing Cereal Bowl that the Notre Dame had in football season and that fiasco and everything. Does Notre Dame leave the ACC and join the Big East?
No. Mainly because they're going to look at all the other sports.
Well, doesn't the Big East have all the other sports too?
Not on the levels that they want, like hockey.
Not like that.
Would they break basketball away and maybe break up all of theirs, or is that too much of a?
No, they won't, because the football is a program by itself, is a whole other like legendary traditional thing. The other programs don't have that historical status to even remotely like. Why would you give them that where they get to keep all the money when they're an average team? And like traditionally, Notre Dame basketball on the men's side's been, they've made runs over the course of history, but they're nothing. They're not Duke. I mean, Duke, UNC, Kansas, Arizona, those schools probably could do independent status and get away with it, but Notre Dame won't. Not now. Will they leave the ACC and maybe go Big Ten in all sports but football? It's a possibility. I know it's been talked about.
Yeah. And this may be a topic for another show, but I'm going to ask you tonight anyway. And plug our college football roundtable Saturday night if you're going to come to it. I know you're if you're going to get there, you're going to get there late. But would any other conference take Notre Dame without their football program, or would they try and use that as a leverage box? If you want to come here, you got to bring your football too, given the tradition that Notre Dame has.
I mean, I guess you got to look at the money factor. The Big Ten doesn't need Notre Dame. The SEC doesn't need Notre Dame. Would the Big 12 take that money? If anybody says no, I think you're absolutely lying. And anybody below the Big 12 in terms of it, it's an instant draw. Like the one thing about the Pop-Tart Bowl that made me laugh was like they generated all that money, but if you actually looked at like pictures of the stadium, it wasn't even sold out. It was like half full. If Notre Dame goes to that bowl game, I guarantee you it's probably sold out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the money alone the Big 12 would take Notre Dame. They can run their mouth all they want, but who's going to turn down like $100 million with TV deal and stuff? Nobody.
Yeah.
Personally, I wish the conferences would do a realignment. Like I miss the Big East. Do you guys remember like the Big East, like when they were great in basketball and like Miami and Virginia Tech and all of them were playing on like Thursday and Friday nights? It was like we lived in like the best sports era and like didn't appreciate it. Now,
Absolutely.
now it's all about the money.
Yeah, we talked about that last week about just like old Big East was the best basketball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was so fun.
It was
This conference realignment thing. I was reading some of Madsen, Cal's head coach, talking about the travel problems with it's not just about football, but all these other Olympic sports and basketball. These kids 3 time zones and back within the same week twice. Do Cal and Stanford leave after the next realignment and say we can't keep doing this, or does football branch off and it's its own thing and all the other sports realign?
I'm wondering if that's what preluded the group of Mountain West teams forming the new Pac-12 going. It's because even for me, my opinion is like it's only a matter of time, because like just for instance in basketball, you got 2 California teams going across country to play the ACC.
Yeah.
Who knows how many times? After a while, it's gotta take a toll. And if you're not competitive in football or in basketball, you're just losing money. It's just going out like a sieve. So it's only a matter of time where they come back to reality and go, hey, we need to be on the West Coast.
Yeah, completely. Cal, they've got Duke and North Carolina back to back 3 days apart. So they play Duke on a Wednesday. They play North Carolina on a Saturday. Do you just stay? I mean,
Right. I mean, it'd be a smart move, I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But my question is like, and I wish they'd release this. I want to see like the athletic budgets for all these schools, like USC, UCLA, they joined the Big Ten, just in airfare. Like, there's no way the athletic department's making more money versus being in the Pac-12 when you like add in the expenses. There's absolutely no way other than football.
completely.
Yeah.
And Cal didn't even have the most travel miles Oregon did last year.
Because I mean, let's be honest. If you're a college student, how do you manage your studies when you're on the road half the time? It's there's a whole factor that they didn't factor in other than the money when they made that deal to go to Big Ten and pretty much dissolve the Pac-12.
Yeah. Well, guys, Backstory Brewery, Sulphur Springs, Texas. If you're interested in laser printing cards like this, it's not cardstock. I don't know what it is. I should have asked, but I didn't. But he does leather as well. Mr. Josh 9. Look him up on Facebook. IX for Roman numeral 9. Leather Works. If you look him up, he hasn't posted in a couple of years, but he does still check his stuff on there. So if you want to look at his stuff and order something, that's him, Josh 9 with IX or 9 Leather Works. He works at Backstory Brewery. This first beer that I had tonight was Bright Star Blonde. I'm pretty sure it was the Cowboy on their menu, but I could be mistaken. It was a 5.3 ABV. Great stuff, really smooth. Again, if you're in the Sulphur Springs, Texas area, check them out. The second beer of the night was the Nacho Lagre. There you are there. This one was a 5.65 ABV. There it is. And my camera's been drinking as much as me or more. But yeah, if you're in the Sulphur Springs area, give them a look up. Great food, Olmad, their restaurant inside their brewery. Great beer, great food, great people. Look them up and go from there. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some of the non-P4 conferences and see who's got the best chance to make a deep run. So stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This episode of Bourbon Beer and Basketball. Thank you for joining us. Apparently, I have to drag and drop a puzzle piece on TikTok. All right. If you're watching this on TikTok, head on over to YouTube, search at Bronco Nation Updates, and join the show. Leave us some comments, and we'll get to you from there. Let's see. Josh. No, Josh is drinking water. Yates, you want to shout out your beer brand one more time?
Absolutely. From the Manhattan Project Beer Company, we have the Red Gate here in Dallas, Texas. That's a little Irish red action right there. It does pair well with, and I'm reading from the can here, pizza, tailgates, and brisket.
Ooh, nice.
Brisket.
Yeah, who doesn't love those
Beer
things?
without brisket. All right. And Dominic, the lone bourbon drinker tonight, what you got, bud?
Yeah, I might need to refresh it here, but there's that Woodinville bourbon whiskey there, fellas, from Washington State.
I will give you
Putting it-
$20 to chug the rest of that right now.
You're putting a pretty good dent in that, Dom.
Yeah, I've done some work on it. I've taken it camping with me, so you know it's had some use.
Casey, you want to shout out your lame, your lame corporate beer?
Yeah, right. I mean, not really. This is what was in the fridge.
Natty Ice. He's wrong with the Natty Ice.
that I will not drink. That is disgusting.
I mean,
That was a college beer. Okay, I make good money now. I can afford some decent light beer.
hey, there are several high school kids out there, maybe not watching this show, but they're probably drinking Natty Ice and Mad Dog 2020.
Natty. Oh my God, Mad Dog 2020.
You kids go
There's a
home.
throwback. Natty Ice and Natty Light was like beer pong beer. It was cheap.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to crack open another one. This one is the Double Drop Kick, a hazy IPA, 10.3%.
Man, cue the camera.
Come on, camera. Come on, camera. Oh, come on. I swear I'm going to get me a green screen so this doesn't. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. There you go.
Nice game. Oh,
There you go.
very
Very
nice.
good. Very nice.
Is he wearing a beret? What's he got on his head?
Yeah. Looks like
Sophisticated. Okay.
it's very, very Irish.
Either that or Scottish.
He's going to be talking like a leprechaun after this.
Let's see. Hops Galaxy, Citra, Mosaic, Idaho Gem, Amarillo, Eldorado. Malts are oat malt, 2-row, and flaked wheat, heavy mouthfeel and head retention, juicy lime, mango, peach, and citrus notes off of the hops. Pairs well with spicy foods and pizza. Named after the Dropkick Murphys, this will surely drop kick you into next week. Well, I have to work tomorrow, so
Good luck with that.
You know?
talk about giving you. Never mind, not that show. I think my third beer last week did the same thing too.
Nice.
This one there, I did try in their brewery while I was eating. Amazing, by the way. Double Drop Kick from Backstory Brewery, Sulphur Springs, Texas. If you're one of those people that travels around to try breweries, I recommend that one. And also last week's my beer sponsor from last week, Oil Horse Brewing Company in Longview, Texas. Just do it. There's also a distillery in Gladewater, Texas, brand new. It's Twisted Spirits. Great stuff. I went in and talked to the owner last week, and just really cool guy. Great stories that he has. Great product. I sat in there for about 15 minutes and tried several different things. He makes a vodka with sugar for people with weed allergies. That's stinking amazing, and it was so good. Like one of those that you could sit there and drink it like Kool-Aid, which if you poured a pack of Kool-Aid in it, probably tastes just like it because that's how smooth it was.
Man.
Do what?
That'd be pretty dangerous.
Yes, it is, man. It went so smooth. So Twisted Spirits in Gladewater, Texas, Oil Horse Brewing Company in Longview, Texas, and then my new love story, Backstory Brewery here in Sulphur Springs, Texas, who squirted all over my computer. There we go. Oh, nice.
Oh, this is a children's show. Come on now.
Cameron's getting excited.
Yeah.
Chill, Cameron.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Anybody else want to shout out anything? Let's get this back to PG.
Uh,
Good deal. Man, that's so good. You like double IPAs. This is it. Double drop kick.
I have
Amazing.
a question for you, Sam.
I have an answer.
Does it taste like 10.2? Can you feel it like immediately?
No, you cannot.
Mm.
It's
Interesting.
dangerous.
Dangerous.
Every one of their beers, it's dangerous. You taste more of the malt in the double drop kick than what you do in their other IPAs.
Okay.
It's more malty. The other IPAs are more hopsy, but they're all good. Like they gave me a flight, and I was able to try all of them, and every single one of them was smooth. I'm not a big Bock fan, but their Texas Strong is their Bock beer, and it was good. But I wanted to try some of these other ones in the can. I wanted to bring them on. Being in Texas, maybe we could have got more viewers if I was doing a Texas Bock, but it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Backstorybrewery.com if you guys want to look at their website and stuff. But
Every time I hear you say backstory, I'm waiting for the backstory.
Yeah, it's on their website, backstorybrewing.com. I do know that the owner is a surgeon, so I do know that.
Oh.
So, yeah.
There's got to be a backstory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Josh told me a story that he came in and was asked how he was doing, and he says, "I'm doing fine." Yeah, and asked how Doc was doing. He says, "Well, I did too. I took out 2 appendixes this morning or something like that." Like, oh well, I'm insignificant. So, but yeah, great stuff. I mean, I even the beers I didn't like were better than the beers that I don't like. So, if that makes any sense. And they gave me a bourbon. It was he said it's technically a 6-year, but it's 5-year on the bottle, and it was, oh my god, it was so smooth. And I just, if you're watching, just plan to go to Sulphur Springs, take a trip down to Backstory Brewery, try all their liquors and beers. They're going to start excuse me, they're going to start a distillery too in the near future. They're getting set up to do all that too. So yeah, we talk some basketball now. You guys want to talk basketball? Or you want to keep? I can keep on alcohol all night long.
Yeah, let's talk about shooty hoops.
Let's talk about handball. All right, basketball. What's that movie? Basketball. I don't know. It might be a TV show. Anyway, Big Sky. Who wants to talk about the Big Sky?
Who
Anybody?
does? Somebody does.
Do not
Not
make me
not my expertise there.
Don't make me
As
say
for, as for you, Idaho gentlemen,
Josh or Nick, which one of you gave me Big Sky as your go-to? I don't remember. I think it might have been Josh.
I mean, the Vandals played the Broncos tough in preseason.
I'm like looking at the breakdown. I'm like, there ain't nothing worth talking about.
Yeah. Who said Big Sky? I put it on there for a reason.
Portland
I don't
State.
know, but
Interesting.
you're probably thinking about when times are really great for Boise State. Like that's the time of Chris Childs.
Yeah.
Going to the tournament and stuff. So that's the first thing that pops in my mind is the glory days. The arena was packed to the brim, as loud as hell. Now it's we've got some work to do.
Yeah. We currently have 5 teams within 2 games of first place, which is Portland State right now. 3-0 in conference play, 9-5 overall. Idaho's at 10-6, 2-1 in conference play, and then Idaho State's 2-2. Everybody else is 3-1. So it has a stacked feel to it, albeit they're not the same strength of schedule as some of the P4s. Can Portland State hold on to keep their perfect conference win, Josh, or is someone like Idaho or Idaho State, who kind of has more of a better basketball preseason, I should say, going to come in and take the cake later on in the season?
I mean, again, Ken Palm, Portland State's kind of running the show when it comes to Ken Palm numbers for the Big Sky, but I used to lean so much more into pedigree. Weber State, I'll never forget the year they were a 14 and took out number 3 seed North Carolina. But I'm wondering with the NIL stuff, is that kind of stuff out? Are we going to see that? I don't want to say as much because it was never often, but it felt like every year you'd get a 13-14 winning.
Yeah.
I'll throw out.
Go for it.
I was just going to throw out Northern Colorado Bears. They're only 1-3 in conference, but 2 of their losses are towards the teams at the top with Montana and Weber State. They're 11-6 overall, though. And let me jump back into their schedule real quick. They played Texas Tech within 11 points. They did beat Colorado on the road. And, I'm not necessarily going to say that they're going to take the conference in the regular season, but it could be a dangerous team come tournament time if they kind of keep it together well enough here.
Yep.
Yeah, they got all 3 of them. They got all 3 of them. Northern Colorado, they've got Montana State still ahead, and Weber State to cap it off. The like opponent, as Don was saying, against Colorado, Portland State lost by like 9 or 10. So they're probably gonna have a challenge. I would say probably between Montana State and Weber State and possibly Montana. Those 3 that are right below them, and then with the chance that Northern Colorado could get him since they took care of Colorado.
You can't sleep on your favorite team, though.
No, they're gonna. The Vandals will probably. No, they're gonna probably go on a losing streak and hopefully, and they'll be dead last.
They were down 18 at the half to Montana State, came back and won 92-89.
Every team has lightning in a bottle sometimes.
What about Conference
USA? Idaho did play Notre Dame earlier this year and was tied at halftime with them. So
yeah, but it didn't end well.
No, it did not.
Let's go Conference USA, fellas. What do we think about that?
Well, I can tell you a little bit about Conference USA. Oh, let me get to my notes real quick. It's gonna be a war. There's a couple of good teams towards the top. It's been kind of varying who's getting in there recently, but right now Liberty, those Flames out there look pretty good. They're 5-0 in conference at the moment, 13-3 overall. They're leading the conference right now in field goal percentage, right? So because they're shooting it so well at 52.2%, and the pack line defense that they play, they are a really tough defense. And with tough defense, the way they shoot it, they're outscoring everybody by a margin of 13 points a game. Like that. That's a pretty big deficit right there.
Yeah.
Middle Tennessee, those Blue Raiders, they're probably going to be the top two that'll be in contention there with Liberty. They're starting to get some rhythm in there. They're a pretty good defensive team too. I don't know much else about them other than that they're pretty good, and defensively they're really good. So
what about Sam Houston? Can they just lost to Liberty back on the 10th by 8 points. They're kind of they've challenged themselves in their non-con with Texas Tech, Utah, and Oklahoma State. They got a win over Oregon State. They've got a win over, what was the other one? Wyoming, who's kind of up, and they're more down than up this year, but they went. No, that was at home. Never mind. Just kidding. Scratch the Wyoming one. Anyway, the 1 point loss to the 1 point loss to Middle Tennessee. Yeah. At Middle Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Could they turn this around and make a late season run?
I mean, I guess they could. I mean, they've got the horses to do it. They've already proven that, being so close in that Middle Tennessee game. I'm just not sure that they're even better than Missouri State, though. You know, the next team I was talking about. I think that's a team that could be pretty scary right there. But I think the dark horse of the conference, hear me out on this one, Louisiana Tech is your dark horse. Things play out right. Louisiana Tech could be that. They're kind of like that little monster hanging under the bed. Might come out and get you one night. You know what I mean? They're allowing 60 points a game right now. That's what their defense is doing. Then they've got this guy named Caden Hooper. He's one of the better two-way players. I hate that term, but what it is. Two-way player that's in their league. He's also giving you a 10 and 8 a game. So I mean they're pretty good. Especially in a conference like this where offense is going to get all of the glory. It's going to be the top talk every week, and then these guys come in and beat you 62-60 every game.
Yeah.
And I know I chose the Florida International Panthers. I'm looking at their record here, and they kind of, they are another dark horse, but they kind of fall in line with what I'm talking about. They've lost their conference away games, but not by very much. In fact, the only one that they've lost at home was against Liberty, and that was a 3-point game. But so it looks like the back half of their schedule will be home games, and every single one of those losses on the road, they're right in them. So I'm just gonna still go with my Florida International Panthers.
I like it.
Nice.
Roar.
Rawr.
I think you have to say Dale because it's a Pitbull's stadium, right? Is that what didn't he buy the rights to the name of that thing?
He did the football stadium, right?
Oh, it's a football stadium. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide.
No.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Well, I'm going to make a little shift here when we go into this next one. And dang it. Sorry, Dom. I was going to get all fancy, but we're just going to do this instead. There we go. Let's talk about Sunbelt Conference.
There you go, man.
Your intro is no longer on my list for some reason. So, but let's go.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. I mean, quite a few games tonight. Not too many, but we did have 3 games tonight. One just went final. Texas State just took down Louisiana. But we had our show last night that got us all caught up on basketball. Southern Miss earlier today was the top team in this conference, sitting at 5-1. The problem with that was we talked last night about them being a fraud because 4 of those 5 victories were against the 2 Louisiana teams. So, you had 4 wins against Louisiana teams that are at the bottom of this conference, and they were yet to really been tested. So they got tested tonight against Troy, which we talked about last time. Jonathan knows all about Coach Scott Cross and his 20 win a season that he just keeps collecting there. Troy hammered Southern Miss tonight 91-65. So they made us look good after our proclamation that they may be frauds sitting up at the top with Southern Miss. Not to say they're not going to still beat the teams towards the bottom, but we just weren't quite sure if they're going to be the top team as they appeared in the standings at that time. They are sitting outside the other top 3 in the net, which go in order from Troy, who's probably going to climb a little bit now as well with that victory tonight. That is the top team in the Sun Belt when you look at the net. Arkansas State just 3 spots behind them, and then Marshall, the Thundering Herd, come in at 140, which is not really impressive. But we're looking at conferences that we're talking about here now in the 20s and the high teens. We're not up there near those top 4 conferences anymore that we were talking about earlier. But again, we had another game tonight. We just talked about Marshall, but they lost to Coastal Carolina 85-83. So Coastal Carolina, Justin Gray moves over from Western Carolina to take over the head job last year at Coastal. Did not go well. He was trying to get his system, his guys. He has started to bring some of those guys in. Coastal seems to be improving there. They did win that Marshall game on the road in Huntington, West Virginia. And Marshall is one of those teams who's consistently at the top of this conference. So it'll be interesting to see how that runs along. But again, naming Arkansas State up there just behind Troy in the net right now, currently sitting at 12-5. That's still a team that you very much need to look out for going forward. And then, the team I named that I thought has a real good shot at taking this conference overall in Georgia Southern. I think they're going to be here to stay, and, looking for just a name or two. Thomas Dowd for Troy is going to be one of your players who's going to stand out. They had that 3 overtime thriller against USC earlier this year after having a 100-point game against San Diego State the day before that. So they were in back-to-back amazing games out there on the West Coast. So I think that Troy team is for real, and it's easy to see why they got the ticket to the big dance last year from this conference. Although South Alabama did win the regular season, so there's yet another team you could throw up there towards the top.
Yeah. Arkansas State in the Sam Talk Sports ranking, 95, Troy 108, Marshall 126, and South Alabama 137. And that's through the games from yesterday. So, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday. Through the games on Monday.
Oh.
We'll get there. I've been thinking it's Thursday all day anyway, so. Oh, man. Like tonight, I thought it was Congregation Live. It is not.
Dom Troy did climb 10 spots in Ken Palm with that win tonight.
Did they? Wow. That's
a pretty big jump in Ken Palm. So
yeah. But did Ken Palm overvalue Southern Miss? Is that why hopefully Ken Palm, the statistics help favor the fact that they knew that those victories and that good looking record was not quite as good looking as some people on the outside maybe had perceived. But
yeah.
What's Southern Miss at in Ken Palm?
It's a good question. I don't have that one in front of me. I have actually they weren't even one of the top teams on the net there, because I guess the net obviously knows that those quad victories that they're talking about aren't impressive when you beating up bottom dwellers
Right.
That Louisiana team that they beat was on a 10-game losing streak to start the season. Or I'm sorry, they won their second game of the season. Then they went on a 10-game losing streak. And most of those games were not close. So that Raging Cajuns team is kind of struggling to find their way. They've rounded out a little bit here, but again, they lose by 5 to Texas State, who will be in the pack with you guys next year.
Yes.
Southern Miss 218, Ken Palm.
Gotcha.
Okay. And the team that Yates was talking about earlier, La Tech, right now, technically, they won't be in until 2027, but they will become a Sun Belt team, and I'm thinking it'll be 2026 when they come in.
That makes more sense than the Conference USA, though. They're in there with the other Louisiana schools.
Yeah, for them, it makes more sense. For us, it puts a third team in Louisiana. It's a little much when you've got ULM in Louisiana already there. But there's some rivalries that will kind of come back around from Conference USA days. As weird as it sounds, Marshall was a team that La Tech used to play quite a bit. So that one will kind of come back into existence there. But also ODU had spent some time in Conference USA, Southern Miss. So there's a lot of familiarity and a few true rivals that will now be on their radar that aren't currently that way in Conference USA.
Yeah. All right. Anyone have anything else to say about the Sun Belt?
Go Bobcats. About it. About
I
it.
second that.
All right. And back to reality. All right. That was a fun little trip down Sunbelt Lane. Let's go to the Southern Conference.
The SoCon.
SoCon.
The former conference of Steph Curry, ladies and gentlemen, the Davidson Wildcats, who are no longer here. So who are the top teams? Well, before tonight's game, that would be East Tennessee State, who was looking pretty good at perfect 4-0, the only undefeated team, but they went down
For half a second. Hold on a second, because Ben James, one of your followers, A-State versus South Alabama tomorrow night, and A-State versus Troy Saturday will be interesting. You want to comment on that real quick before we move on to the next one? I saw the comment.
Yeah, I mean,
I waited.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be great matchups. Ben's a huge Red Wolves fan, the biggest Red Wolves fan that I've ever seen, and consistently showing up, commenting, and throwing stuff out there, fact-checking us and giving us some good stats, too. So he knows his stuff. But, again, South Alabama, Troy, that's both of those games are must-watch for any Sunbelt fan or anybody interested to see who may come out at the top of the conference for sure.
All right. And
back
one
to
more.
the core form.
How about them chants? So
How about
I'm assuming
and
that's
Chanticleer.
I'll correct you because I was corrected during baseball season as I kept saying chants too, but it's chance. It's like a C, an SH instead of a C.
Yes, because of the Chanticleers.
the Appalachians don't know how to talk. That's all.
Fancy word speaking.
Yeah, but to see them win on the road at Marshall, I didn't see that one coming. So yes, absolutely credit to the Chants. As it gets closer to baseball season, the Coastal fans will come out of the woodwork, and if they can get a basketball team on hand, they're going to be pretty excited come springtime. But yeah, back to the SoCon. East Tennessee State, ETSU, drops to 4-1. Furman also, Furman improves to 4-1 with their victory over Samford. Western Carolina is the team that beat ETSU. We just talked about them, and former head coach Justin Gray now at Coastal Carolina. And then Chattanooga took down Wofford tonight, 76-67. You're talking about the top team in the net, which was ETSU, followed closely by Furman. And those two teams are certainly going to get closer after tonight's results because those numbers were before the show happened tonight. And then you've actually got the Mercer Bears up there at 123, currently 10-7 overall. But I keep your eye on Furman. They are 4-1 on the road now, 8-2 at home, and 13-5 overall. So that is a team that has consistently been in the conversation in the SoCon over many years now, and looking pretty good, especially after that ETSU loss tonight.
Yeah, I think I picked Mercer in this one for this conference, but I mean, Furman's looking pretty good this year.
Yep, they got a guy named Charles Johnson, 19.5 rebounds per game, but they spread the ball out pretty well on offense because they don't have.
Did you just say 19?
19.
Sorry. 9.5. Sorry, 9.5.
I was going to say there's not people that score that many.
Nobody else rebounds.
let me take another sip after that comment.
Yes. Everyone cheers. All right.
Yeah, not 19, 9. I think I was looking at the top guy, who's actually Justin Neely from UNCG. But yeah, pretty good guys down there in the rebound. Mercer's got 2 in the top 5, which tells you where the Bears are at defensively.
Yeah.
They also have one of their players as the top 5 scorer at 18.2 per game. So again, that's why you're looking at that Mercer Bears team is legitimate.
Is that national or just in the conference?
Just within the conference. Yeah, I kind of narrowed it down because again, we're gonna compare these guys to the top 4 or 5 conferences. We're gonna be way down the list, and telling somebody they're the 103rd best shooter or the 132nd best shooter isn't going to sound really good.
Right. So SoCon, they've been historically a one bid conference. Unless you get East Tennessee doing something spectacular and Furman, maybe they're both only losses are to each other. Might get 2 of them in, but I don't see anything other than one bid. Do you?
No, I don't. I mean, this is a type of team or conference I would say really right now in the net favors the Sun Belt over the SoCon, but not by very much. So I would say that, if you're going to put these 2 conferences up together, the SoCon might be better positioned to possibly get 2 than the Sun Belt would be. But yeah, I don't think either one would get more than 2. I just don't think either one of those conferences are going to have a schedule at the end of the season that's going to stack up against a team that, played. I mean, we look at the top 25. Neither conference has a single victory over a top 25 team. But more importantly than that, there's been 7 games total between the 2 conferences, and the Sun Belt has 1 of those games. So the SoCon schedule's better or gets rewarded better. So, that's going to position them a little bit better at the end of the year for sure.
All right. Let's move on to the MAC and tell me why it's going to be Ohio and nobody else.
All right. Offensive perfection.
Yeah.
All right. Good with that because they're leading the league in scoring. They're averaging about almost 94, I think 93.3-ish in that range per game. That's a lot of scoring. Plus, they're shooting it at 53.4%. My God. So really, they're not just winning. They're just like offensively, they are overwhelming everybody because they just play so fast that everyone else is like, we can't keep up. So pretty much that's what's happening. And they're shooting it at the 3 at 41.6% as a team.
That's pretty impressive.
That's really impressive as a team. So imagine that nightmare to guard. And still, even with that, Akron played them within 3 points. I know they don't play again this year, but Akron played them very close. And they're really good defensively. They held them to 76 points, held Miami, Ohio to 76, well off their season average of 93. That's what's going to help Akron if they're going to win, because this is going to be a league a league that's going to get 1 bid.
Yeah. You think if Miami, Ohio finishes regular season undefeated, they meet Akron in the conference championship and loses a close game to Akron, do they get 2 bids in? if that's Miami, Ohio's only loss.
I say yes. They're 44 and 54 in the net. Like they are right there as a 2-bid league.
Yeah, but that's hard to say because what was it, 6 years ago that the Drake Bulldogs were sitting at 27-5, and the only conference loss they took the entire season was in their conference championship. They got left out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to wonder
So
how great.
they don't get the SEC bias, but
They do not. Gotta step their game up a little bit more. But a couple players to watch throughout the season for the MAC. In Ohio, playing for those Bobcats, we got Jackson Pavletsky. This man is averaging 16.5 points a game, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. He's averaging on the plus side of almost a triple-double. Not quite, but, that means, he's a playmaker. Probably the best one in the conference. But also over on the other side of Akron, you've got Tavari Johnson. He's the guy that kind of controls everything. He's the guy, their point guard, keeps everything even keel emotionally. And, he's kind of their most valuable guy. But the dark horse, I think, of this conference is the UMass Minutemen.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, they're not doing great right now. I get it. And they were picked 5th overall. But with that in mind, what do they have to lose to just really play the spoiler role on everybody and going to then beat people? Because they have enough size that they could play with Miami and Akron. And if you with your athletes, you get hot at the right time, never know.
Yep.
So UMass is your dark horse.
and they play Miami twice and Buffalo twice, still to come.
Mm-hmm.
And Akron once. So they could go on a hot streak. They could be your dark horse.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the A10. You got St. Louis, George Mason, Dayton, Davidson, George Washington, St. Joseph's. All could be that tournament, and VCU, who's been there before, can be that automatic qualifier spot. All of those have a chance to get that AQ spot. Can the A10 get in 2 or 3 teams?
I like this conference. I really
Yeah.
do. Out of the smaller ones, this is probably my favorite one. I mean, right now, with the way that these top tier, and there's a lot of them in the conference. It could happen. I could. I would think that maybe at the least 2 spots, if it continues to go the way it's going right now with those overall records, and maybe the 3 right now that are still undefeated in conference. Josh probably knows more about the numbers, as far as KenPom on these ones.
St. Louis is the first non-Power 4 team outside of Gonzaga that shows up in KenPom. They're sitting number 36 right now. Great offensive efficiency, number 48 in the nation. This is an interesting conference for sure, Nick.
Yeah.
They play St. Louis the final game of the season, so that'll be a fun one. Or sorry, St. Louis and George Mason. Excuse me.
Ooh.
Final game of the year.
And you've got 5-0 George Mason, 4-0 St. Louis, 4-0 Dayton, 3-2 Davidson, 3-2 George Washington, 3-2 St. Joseph's, 3-2 Richmond, 3-2 VCU.
Mm-hmm.
All of them with double-digit wins. It's going to be hard to not get at least 2 teams from the A10 into the tournament this year, and I wouldn't be surprised to see 3, depending on how conference tournament play goes.
Yeah, when you look at the net rankings for conferences overall, the A10 sitting in 8th, so that's pretty good position, just behind Mountain West and the West Coast, which West Coast is extremely top heavy, somewhat similar to the A10, but your top 2 teams in the West Coast are carrying that conference for sure.
Between the West Coast Conference, the Mountain West Conference, and the A10, the Mountain West Conference basically you have San Diego State and Utah State. Everybody else is so they may be better in the net, but you're pretty much a 2-team conference there. And with the West Coast Conference, it's Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Santa Clara and San Francisco may do something, but you're Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Is A10 the deepest non-P4 conference?
I think it is.
I'd say right now. Yeah.
George Mason slipped.
Should the Big East be considered a Power 4 conference for the sake of basketball purposes, or are they going to be non-P4 by the time it's all said and done? How do you guys want to view them going forward? Because they got a pretty good basketball conference this year.
That one's tough because I think, UConn is coming on, and I think they have a really good potential of dominating the Big East. That's a tough one. I don't know. Maybe somebody else has.
Who gets more in, the Big East or the A10?
Big East.
Big East, yeah.
I think the Big East, basically for namesake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can the A10 compete with the Big East?
Talent-wise, absolutely.
Yeah. I'd like to see
I'm not sure I would say anybody could compete with UConn, but everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one.
They might as well call it the Big Connecticut.
And
exactly.
Try to compete. Dan Hurley has words.
Oh gosh.
He does. He'll go rounds with you.
Outside of the power, I'm going to put Big East as a Power 5. We'll say them.
Yeah.
The A10 is the only one with 5 Quad 1 teams, and George Mason just slipped into Quad 2 status tonight, but they're tough. Yeah, Yates.
They just slipped in, but they could turn around and change that by the end of the season. We're still early on too.
I don't know how this, and maybe you guys all think of this a lot more, but you think of the Dukes and the Kentuckys and Carolinas. Connecticut has won 6 NCAA championships since 2000. Or 99, I guess. 6. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
There was a conversation last year. Yeah, there was a conversation last year around that said that UConn is not a blue blood when it comes to college basketball. And I said they might be a newer blue blood, but they're a blue blood to me.
I disagree.
Blue blood.
Yeah. Disagree, Nick?
I disagree with that statement that whoever said that they're not a blue blood.
Yeah.
No, they're definitely.
Yeah, I was shocked that somebody said it because I was like, no, I love it. I love it. If he disagreed, we need a little Stephen A. Smith and whoever he yells at every day. Like
we need Dean Fleming.
Maybe.
No. I mean, they had a Hall of Fame coach, Jim Calhoun. They are a deep blue blood. Like, come on.
Absolutely.
When you
6
can
titles
recruit without doing much but saying your name, I think you're kind of a blue blood, right? Like, come to UConn. Yeah, there you go. That's all it really needs to be said.
Is UConn really the center of basketball world as far as women's and men's basketball goes? I mean,
100%.
Yeah, hands down.
Find the programs.
Nobody's even close.
I mean,
the women's program made the men's program because the men didn't want to be outdone.
Yeah.
True. Wasn't there a rumor for a couple of years that Ariana was going to go to the men's team? They were trying to get him to or something.
I think I heard that.
Yeah. And then you got UConn 6 and Nova. Have they won twice in the last 10 years? The Jay Wright teams.
Nova did, yeah.
I mean, the Big East.
Big Villanova guy.
Is it possible that they're the quietest, best conference in the nation? Like, man.
Absolutely. That's why I
Probably
said that.
Butler. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's like 10 years now, but Butler, was in the national championship against Duke not terribly long ago. So,
yeah.
Providence is always doing something in the tournament. It feels like it's usually a first round exit, but they're usually getting to that point.
Mm-hmm.
St. John's.
Not this year. Doesn't look like this year, but
All right, let's get through these last three pretty quick because we're coming up on a hard break. American, pretty much going to be Temple. Anyone think anybody other than Temple's going to win the American? And does the American get a second bid? Don't all speak at once.
Memphis.
Yeah, they're sitting 7-8, 2-1 in conference though.
Well, I mean, apparently they won tonight. They're 8-8 and 3-1 in conference.
Oh, let me refresh.
Yeah, the numbers changed. I looked at it mainly because I'm looking at this Arkansas score. By the way, Arkansas is leading South Carolina 81-52 with 11:46 left in the second half. Woo pig. We're back. All right.
Vanderbilt losing to Texas right now.
You bragging about South Carolina is like,
hey, shh. Let me have it. I went through an entire football season. Let me have
it. Fair enough. But hey, at least you can take solace in knowing that it took 9 games in the SEC to beat Arkansas by more points than what Notre Dame beat Arkansas.
That is correct.
I think your AD was a little salty about that in the playoff committee.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, he sure is. That's all I'm going to say.
So
Temple is 7th in Ken Palm in the American, which is crazy.
That is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see what Yates is talking about with Memphis, though. I mean, if you look at that schedule, they're being rewarded probably because they played at Ole Miss. They played number 1 Purdue. They played Louisville. They played Vanderbilt. They played Mississippi State. So, yes, their record doesn't look great, but they're battle tested. And as they get in deeper into this conference that doesn't look great from the rest, top to bottom, they could be there at the end. I don't disagree with that at all after, diving a little deeper there.
What about South Florida and FAU?
South Florida's, they've played a couple of teams, but they've also, for lack of a better comparison, they've really SEC footballed up their non-conference.
It's true.
I don't know. You got George Washington, who we were just talking about, is in the A10. 4-point loss to them. VCU, of course, that was a 12-point loss there. 8-point loss to Oklahoma State. They beat Utah State 74-61, who's on the cusp of top 25. 9-point loss to 11-point loss to Alabama.
And then you go on and you see this old just Georgia College.
Oh yeah, you got to have it. Yeah,
you got your Coppin States.
That's cupcake week for the SEC.
Exactly.
I'm just saying they had some good games.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
they played some good teams.
All right, we can talk about the American a little bit later on in other episodes. Take a deeper dive in them. Let's move on to the Missouri Valley. Most likely a 1-bid conference.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I've always loved the history of the Missouri Valley. They've always been that Cinderella, and then whoever comes in and beats somebody they shouldn't beat. It's always a feel-good story there. But yeah, this is Murray State, and then the rest of them.
Yeah,
it's what you're looking at here. I mean, you're right now, 11-game win streak, 88 points a game.
Dang.
Ja Moran is an alumni. Just shooters out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, the only other team you could look at, I mean, obviously Illinois State's pretty decent. Belmont might be the other team that could really take something over right there. Outside of that, your dark horse, Northern Iowa Panthers. because they play ugly. And if you play ugly enough and you get those pretty boys in Murray and, the racers to play ugly with you and you're better at playing ugly, you could always upset them. They're allowing 57 points a game right now.
Yeah.
I
think Bradley could probably make a run in the tournament. Yeah. So, and then finally, let's move up to the Big South. Another bid conference.
Big South, definitely one bid conference for sure. But before tonight's game, the High Point Panthers were sitting at 78th in the net, but they lost to Winthrop, and that game wasn't close. 92-75. The Winthrop team that seems to do some damage in the tournament every once in a while definitely woke up. 53 points in the first half tonight. That compares to High Point's 29. So that game was over quite early. Well, I don't know. Yates made a good point last week that, those 20-point deficits, those 15-point deficits, they're getting erased a little more often than they used to. But this one did look over early and then did remain out of reach for High Point to get back into it. So now Winthrop and High Point are tied at the top of this conference. You've also got Radford, who also won tonight, 89-80 over Gardner-Webb. So they now sit at 10-9 overall. So they're still very much in the race here too. I'm not quite sure if anybody else below that is a true contender. Maybe if you're looking for a real dark horse like Presbyterian, you might take a chance on if you want to, put a little early bet on and put $1 on it to win some money or something. But I wouldn't get too deep into the dark horse of Presbyterian. Blue Hose.
The Blue Hose. That's the only reason why they're going to take it right there, just because of their name, the Blue Hose.
Yeah,
I think I'd take Charles.
Yeah, I'm very much a believer in High Point or Winthrop to come out of this conference. And after tonight's throttling, it looks like Winthrop is the very early front runner for good reason.
Yeah,
and High Point will get another chance when Winthrop comes to their house. So
we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe the conference championship will end up being the rubber match.
There you go. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got on those guys. Not the deepest conference for them, unfortunately, but exciting basketball. Sometimes we got some close games. We had an overtime game tonight. We had a 1-point game tonight. We had a 9-point game tonight, and then we had the blowout at the top. But yeah, so Big South plays an exciting brand of basketball.
Well, the final buzzard has sound, and we are going to go to the post game where I'm going to crack open this Goodnight BA Stout. The BA can stand for either bourbon or barrel aged or badass. I'm going to choose badass because that's what it is. 13.8 stout.
Ooh, that's badass.
That is a good night beer.
Good night, Sam. Good night.
Night. Night, Sam.
So you can taste the barrel aged in it, the whiskey. Man,
Can you taste your dreams?
I'm tasting something. Again, they don't have a can for the BA Stout, so it's just they put it in the Nacho Libre can, and they actually canned it while I was eating. That's how dedicated they are to putting it on the show. But it's Backstory Brewery, Sulphur Springs, Texas. Great food, great beer. This double Dropkick IPA was a 10.3. The Bright Star Blonde, which I think they call the Cowboy now, is where'd it go? There it is, 5.3. And then the Nacho Lagre is 5.65. And of course, this Goodnight BA Stout, 13.8. Great beer, great food, great people. Josh Nine makes these cards. It's not cardstock. It's some kind of like a thin metal filling looking thingy. But Backstory Brewery, Josh Nine. There you go, TikTok. There you go, everybody else, maybe. There it is. Look them up on Facebook, Roman numeral 9 IX, Leatherworks, and put your orders in for cards that look like this and leatherwork and stuff. Great guy, great products. Yates, tell us about that awesome brewery you have over there.
Oh, the old Manhattan Project. If you know a little bit about history, you know about the Manhattan Project. But that Redgate beer that I've got tonight, this little 5.4 Irish Red, drinks real smooth. It pairs well, with a brisket and pizza and tailgates. And it drinks incredibly well in not just the summer, but it's a nice little winter beer too.
Nice. And Dominic, what kind of bourbon you got over there?
Yeah, we had the Woodinville bourbon whiskey here. So Washington State proud there, guys. A little closer to you than it is to me, but it shipped and tastes well even over here in the East Coast.
You got to get on board with your bourbon guys. Get us some tastings coming on. We can spend a half of a half, or maybe even in the pregame. We'll go pregame and do some bourbon tastings.
There you go.
with everybody. Obviously, Nick, you're our designated. What do you call it? Our designated driver.
Designated driver, man. You can count on me.
All right, Casey. What kind of corporate swill are you drinking?
I was just drinking Miller Lite, man. Simple and easy and cheap.
Yeah, and I can't knock Miller Lite. It was my late brother's beer of choice before he passed away. So he actually is the one that composed our intro theme, our theme song, and everything for all my shows. After he passed, I was able to get a copy of it, and now it's mine. So I say mine. It's mine to use on the show. So there's that. Our water drinkers, Nick. I forget. Did you have anything other than water you were drinking? You had a tea or something, right?
I just I brewed up some good old Albertsons brand espresso that's got probably the premium Colombian bean store brand.
Well, you need to tell good old Albertsons that they have a stadium, but now they need a bourbon beer and basketball show, and their logo would look good right on the bottom of the screen there.
I'm working on that. I got connections, and I'm working on that.
And Josh, what kind of water are you drinking? You well water, or you go and you pull it out of the tap, or
I'm a tap drinker, but always my Boise State souvenir cup. Let's go. $9.50, Nick. Is that what it cost at the stadium for a souvenir cup?
Sounds about right. But you also got that aquifer water down there, so he's drinking some premium water from Twin Falls.
True story. And Sam, maybe you remember this from your time. Twin Falls is at the highest level of, I want to say it's arsenic in our water that you can federally have. So if I end up with a third eye at some point in the show, that'll be fun.
I'm glad I don't live there anymore. Oh, hey, speaking of water, Nick, and I know they haven't really been much of a sponsor for Bronco Nation Live lately, but they still have a good water. What is that iconic blue bottle for the iconic blue turf? Why don't you give them a shout out and see if we can't get them on a sponsor for you on this show too?
Yeah, Oxygen Water's been they've been a great supporter. They've been on the Serving Bronco Nation directory. It's really good water. It boosts the oxygen in your body. It's great for runners. I'm a runner, so they've been really good to me. So like if you love the iconic blue field, then go to your Walmart or anywhere else and pick up that iconic blue bottle.
Oh, I've tried. It's not down here. Where can they go online to get it?
It's exclusively at Walmart, or I think you can go to oxygenwater.com.
All right, there you go. There you have it. Well, folks, I'm going to tell you this Good Night BA Stout, Badass Stout, barrel aged, but Badass sounds better. If you like a whiskey flavor in your beer, or like to think you're drinking whiskey without actually drinking whiskey, you want to try this because my God, and it goes down smooth. Tell you what, I might find a way to ship y'all some of this stuff. It's pretty dang good. Texas knows how to beer. Anyway, anyone have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Shout out Chris Peterson for making the College Football Hall of Fame today.
Good job.
Hey,
Shout out Chris Peterson.
About that.
Most successful coach.
And also thumbs down to the voters for not voting in Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Amen. Jordan Lynch got in. Credit to him. Good for him. But Kellen Moore, come on. Sorry, I'm bitter. We'll get over it.
You got to wonder if his competition was better. If he would have been first ballot for sure. But
it smells kind of like some bias in there, you know.
Yeah. It is what it is. All we can do is be fans of the game.
Yep.
All right. Well, if you want to catch Nick and I tomorrow night, we are on here, Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel. For Bronco Nation Live, we have Boise State former gymnast Emma Loyam. Is that how you say it? Yep.
Emma Loyam, yep.
Going to be on with us. We're going to preview or review the women's game and the men's game from last night and preview upcoming games as well. Shout out to the Boise State esports team. They took care of business against Nebraska this week. I don't know what their Valorant score was. They were up whenever I had to shut it off to tune into here, but they did win Rocket League and Overwatch, so I'm assuming they would have won Valorant as well. And then on Saturday night, we have the College Football Roundtable is going to be live here, same spot. So if you're a college football fan, we're going to be previewing the national championship and going from there. But that, everybody here, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week, same time, same place.
Thanks. Take care.